it's this lovely old theatre, and I'm thinking painters like Sicker. There's a lot of abstract things going on, you know, the way the plaster's peeled off and bits of the paint's been revealed. It's sort of the decay of the place, you know. That's what I find really charming at the moment.
I'm inspired by the decay and everything, so that interests me, the decay and the crumbling, the bits of scaffolding. That's very inspiring to me, how it used to be.
I think for me, it's not so much the building, but the acts.
I'm just sort of envisaging sort of putting little figures on the stage, and I just love that sort of spectacle, you know, that sort of feeling that there's performers.
My first impressions of entering the theatre at Alexandra Palace was the size of it. I was somehow expecting something a bit smaller. I like long panoramic vistas, and I used the software facility on my mobile phone and the camera to do panning shots. What I focused on was the drama of the light coming in from the back of the stage, and also the lighting around the theatre itself. And then you had those intense blacks underneath the spaces like the balcony. Got to check the colour, which is a red, so I'm going to use the red pencil. Drawing over, get your red pencil. I mostly work in black and white, so colour is always a bit of a challenge. Spread that onto the surface of the plate. And now, ready to print. So that's the yellow printed.
I like the fact that it's very sort of distressed, and it doesn't take over from what's going to happen on the stage. Well, I really like the patterns actually, and the window, all the different colours and patterns. I really love bricks. And this is amazing because there's all these intricate little brickwork. This is a bus stop. I was thinking of putting a bus in, but I almost can't bear to sacrifice any of the brickwork. So this has taken like about 2.5 hours. I usually paint a little bit at a time. I'll come around about the same time because it was really nice when the light was on the building. It will take me about 8 goes probably coming here and spending 2 or 3 hours. And after 2 or 3 hours the light is too different.
Most of my painting involves me actually going out on location and painting on the spot, and maybe coming back to the studio to finish. I'm a modern British impressionist, mainly working in the field of landscape painting. My inspiration was my initial response. There was this great sort of sense of history. It was almost like the ghost of the past, but in reality is only 2-3 generations away. It's a much larger painting than I would normally attempt. Try to get an overall sort of composition. The ceiling was quite an important element. Ellipses are notoriously difficult to paint. And once I'd established that, I moved to the bottom half of the painting, which was almost sort of like a stage set. It's where the theatre is grounded. Started introducing figures, which were almost like players on the stage. You find one small part that would work, a little element that you can just pull through. Don't want to lose the spontaneity. I like the two sort of classical side doors and the way the lighting comes through, and it seems to sort of come through and illuminate the rest of the painting.
For me, this project is all about the act. The inspiration is a handbill about a pantomime called The Yellow Dwarf. It seemed very bizarre, and it's the sort of work that I do. I'll do the curtains coming down there, then I'm going to have a whole load of acrobats swinging along there. Then you're going to have the Yellow Dwarf and lots of people being shot out of cannons. We're going to do flying mechanical birds up here. It was a show that amazed the audiences by all the special effects, which were kind of new to people in those days. Were exploding cannons and people vaulting. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to add a few little bits and pieces to it. Looks promising. I know it's all very rough, but it does look promising. And by the time I've done it all and put some colour into it, it should be all right. The most interesting thing about it all, when you've got something like Alexandra Palace with a huge history and a wealth of beautiful things, it's the fact that everybody did something different and got something different from it.